You know what separates a billionaire from someone scrolling TikTok at 2 a.m.? It's not intelligence. It's not work ethic. It's not even luck. It's dopamine control. While you're getting dopamine hits from Instagram likes and YouTube shorts, successful people have hacked their brain's reward system to work for them, not against them. And once you understand how they do it, you'll realize you've been playing the game completely wrong. Here's what nobody tells you about dopamine. Your brain doesn't release it when you get a reward. It releases it in anticipation of the reward. Every time you reach for your phone, your brain dumps dopamine before you even unlock it, expecting novelty, a message, a like, something interesting. And tech companies know this. They've spent billions engineering infinite scroll, autoplay, and notifications to hijack this exact system. You're not weak-willed. You're up against algorithms designed by the smartest behavioral psychologists on the planet. But successful people face the same hijacking, the same distractions, the same temptations. The difference? They've learned to control their dopamine instead of letting it control them. Let me show you how. When you check your phone first thing in the morning, you're setting your dopamine baseline dangerously high. Your brain gets a massive spike from notifications and scrolling, and now everything else feels boring by comparison. Work? Boring. Exercise? Too hard. Reading? Can't focus, because your brain is chasing that same high it got from your phone. Neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman calls this dopamine stacking. You're burning through all your motivation on low-value activities. By the time you sit down to do something important, your dopamine tank is empty. This is why you can scroll for 3 hours, but can't work for 30 minutes. Your brain literally has no fuel left. Here's where it gets darker. Every dopamine spike is followed by a crash. The higher the spike, the lower the crash. So when you spend your morning getting hits from social media, you spend your afternoon in a dopamine deficit, unmotivated, tired, depressed, and what do? Reach for your phone again to feel better. Spike crash, spike crash. You're trapped in a dopamine roller coaster, and you don't even realize it. So how do successful people break free? Strategy 1. They keep their dopamine baseline low. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, none of them started their day scrolling Instagram. They protect their mornings ruthlessly. No phone, no email, no distractions. Because the first dopamine hit of your day sets the tone for everything else. If it comes from work, your brain associates work with reward. If it comes from TikTok, your brain craves TikTok. It's not willpower, it's conditioning. Strategy 2. They use dopamine for motivation, not pleasure. Dopamine is released when you anticipate achievement, not when you achieve it. Successful people exploit this. They set clear goals, break them into milestones. Every milestone triggers dopamine. They're not waiting for the finish line. They're getting dopamine from the progress. That's why top performers track everything obsessively. Steps, revenue, workouts. Every small win releases dopamine that fuels the next action. They've rewired work to be their dopamine source. Strategy 3. Dopamine fasting. Once a week, successful people intentionally lower their dopamine. No phone, no music, no caffeine, no stimulation, just boredom. When your baseline resets, everything becomes rewarding again. A walk feels good. Conversation feels engaging. Work feels exciting. Your brain stops comparing everything to the nuclear dopamine hit from scrolling. Strategy 4. Deliberate delayed gratification. The marshmallow experiment showed delayed gratification predicts success. But here's what they didn't tell you. Delaying gratification trains your dopamine system. Every time you resist a quick hit, you strengthen your brain's ability to pursue long-term rewards. Successful people practice this daily. Don't check your phone for the first hour. Don't eat until noon. Don't watch Netflix until work is done. Small delays repeated daily. Your brain learns the best rewards come from waiting. Strategy 5. Stack difficult tasks early. Dopamine is released in anticipation of reward. So successful people tackle the hardest work first thing in the morning when dopamine reserves are full and willpower is highest. They don't waste dopamine on easy tasks. They use it as rocket fuel for work that actually matters. And here's the magic. Completing something difficult releases even more dopamine. You get anticipation dopamine plus accomplishment dopamine. Double reward. That fuels your entire day. But here's the truth. Most people don't want to hear. You're probably dopamine addicted and don't even know it. Can you sit in silence for 10 minutes without reaching for your phone? Can you eat a meal without watching something? Can you go one full day without social media? If the answer is no, you're dopamine dependent. Your brain has been rewired to need constant stimulation, and the longer you stay in this state, the harder it becomes to do anything difficult. Because difficult things don't give instant dopamine. Building a business takes years, getting in shape takes months, but scrolling? Instant hit. Right now, your brain will always choose the path of least resistance. So how do you take back control? Step 1. Protect your first hour. No phone, no email, no news. The first dopamine hit should come from something productive. Exercise, writing, deep work. This sets your baseline low and trains your brain to associate productivity with reward. Step 2. Track progress visibly. Use a habit tracker, a journal, a spreadsheet. Every completed task gets marked down. That visual progress triggers dopamine. That dopamine fuels the next action. Successful people don't rely on motivation. They engineer dopamine through systems. Step 3. Schedule dopamine fasting. 1 day a week, go low dopamine. No phone, no Netflix, no sugar, no caffeine, just work, nature, and silence. Let your brain reset. Watch how motivated you feel the next day. Step 4. Delay gratification intentionally. Want to check your phone? Wait 5 minutes. Want that snack? Wait until your next meal. Small delays train your brain to tolerate discomfort. That's where all growth happens. Step 5. Do the hard thing first. Every morning, identify the one task you're dreading most. Do it first. Use your full dopamine reserves on what actually matters. Here's the reality. Most people will watch this, nod along, feel motivated, and change absolutely nothing. Because knowing isn't doing. Your brain has spent years building dopamine pathways for instant gratification. You have to rewire it through repetition. 30 days of protecting your morning, 30 days of fasting, 30 days of hard things first. That's what rewires your system. If you made it this far, you're in the small percentage who actually wants to change. Subscribe to Life Mind Gym for real psychology, not motivational garbage. Drop a comment with how many hours you spent on your phone yesterday. I hit 11 before realizing I had a problem. And if you know someone controlled by their phone, send them this video. Let's take back our dopamine together.